Hey guys, so in my devotion times over the last few days, I've been really reflecting on the relationship that we have with Jesus and what's the sort of relationship he's calling us to. What's the nature of the relationship that Jesus invites us into? Is it a friendship? Well, of course it's a friendship. Is it a role modeling relationship? Yeah, it is. It is a role modeling. He wants to be a mentor, yeah. He wants to be a saviour. It's a saviour kind of relationship as well. So much to the relationship. But I wonder whether the relationship Jesus is calling us into is something even deeper than that. I believe Jesus is calling you and me into a love affair. Now I know for blokes particularly that sounds weird, a love affair. But if you think about the scriptures and you think about the way that the New Testament, the Old Testament, Jesus is written about the relationship, particularly in the New Testament, the way that Paul writes about our relationship with Jesus, it's really quite intimate. It's the imagery, the thought processes, the implications around it might sound a little unusual or even extreme, but I believe a love affair with us and Jesus personally is actually biblical. Through the scriptures, God uses intimate language to talk about this relationship that he has with people. In the Old Testament, God he uses references around adultery when people put other things before him. When the relationship goes to other places and not God, he calls that adultery. And in the New Testament, he could have used any label in reference to his church. He could have called his church the acquaintance or admirers or religious associates, but instead he calls the church his bride. There's no more intimate relationship that you can have. There's a bride and a groom. It's not accidents, by design, that he uses these phrases. There's an intimacy that's implied in the way that he talks. And as I've been reflecting, I've been thinking about, well, is my relationship with Jesus one that I would use the word intimate with? You see, you and I are the one that he's chosen. We're the ones that he desires to know in intimate ways. And he wants us to know him in intimate ways too. Jesus could have stayed in the luxury and the comfort of heaven and had a long distance relationship with you and I. But he chose to be intimate and to come and to be. He chose to draw near. He desired to be nearer to us so that he could be seen, he could be watched, he could be smelled, he could be all of the intimate parts of a relationship. He embraced and wanted that for us with him. And he invited people then, and he invites us now to move into that intimate space. So, I know most of you who are listening to this, have a relationship with Jesus, but I guess I want us to really go there and say, well, is it? Would I describe it as intimate? Intimacy is knowing and being known. Intimacy is pursuing and being pursued. Intimacy is discovering and being discovered. Intimacy is listening and being listened to. Does that reflect your relationship with Jesus? Because I know for me, I've been challenged about some of that. Intimacy is the very nature of Jesus, and he wants us to have a relationship that expresses that very nature. I want to leave you with Psalm 139. I guess that's a psalm where King David is unpacking this whole concept and really, I guess, reflecting on that himself. What does it mean to have an intimate relationship? And so let me just read some of Psalm 139 for you to think about. David says this, he says, "O Lord, you have examined my heart and you know everything about me. You know when I sit down and stand up, you know my thoughts, even when I'm far away. You see me when I travel, when I rest at home. You know everything I do. You know what I'm going to say, even before I say it, Lord. You go before me and follow me. You place your hand of blessing on my head. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It's too great to understand," David says. "I can never escape from your spirit. I can never get away from your presence. If I go up to the heaven, you're there. If I go down to the grave, you are there. If I ride the wings of the morning, if I dwell in the furthest ocean, even there your hand will guide me and your strength will support me." He's saying, this is my intimate relationship with you. If I ride the wings of the morning, if I dwell in the farthest oceans, even there, God, your hand will guide me. Your strength will support me. David understands intimacy. "I could ask for darkness to hide me and the light around me to become night, but even in darkness I cannot hide from you. To you the night shines as bright as day. Darkness and light are the same." And then he goes on and he talks about the intimate way he made us. You made all the delicate inner parts of my body and knit me together in my mother's womb. God, thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. Your workmanship is marvelous. How well I know it. You watched me as I was being formed in utter seclusion, as I was woven together in the dark of the womb. You saw me before I was born. Every day of my life was recorded in your book. Every moment was laid out before every single day had passed. How precious are the thoughts about me, oh God. That intimate relationship. So I want to leave you with this. We were called to be fully known and to fully know our God. Jesus came to draw near. So what does your relationship with Jesus look like today? Would you describe it as intimate? And if not, how could you lean in more in these next few days and know him in an even more intimate way than you've ever known him before, and that he might know you in a more intimate way over the next few days? God bless you guys.